welcome to spring in the Netherlands. I had to work this morning in an old fort, which is like right up the hill over there. And I figured since probably nobody else is crazy enough to be out here this morning, this would be a good time to record an outside vlog. So, yay. This week's topic is favorite assigned readings. And I'm not sure if it's similar where you live, but for me I had a lot of languages, so I had to read a lot as well. Because in school we had Dutch, of course, English, French, German, which were all mandatory, and I also had Latin and ancient Greek. So that was fun and also very confusing. However, to make literature studies or something a bit easier, they sort of combined the literature from all of those subjects into one literature studies. And that's actually the only thing that we had to read stuff for. However, well, I'm always scared people are coming by. We didn't have like really assigned reading, so we sort of classically read together. We sort of had a long list and we could choose books from it. We had to read so many books a year. And if we had any other books, then we could also read them. We just had to sort of have them pre-approved, which was good for me because I loved reading, so it wasn't that much of an effort. However, I was also sort of pretentious in high school, so I tried to read really difficult books. I was most proud of reading Wuthering Heights and Great Expectations by Emily Bronte and Charles Dickens for English. I really liked Great Expectations. Later on, however, I reread Wuthering Heights and I realized I didn't understand anything about it when I was in high school, so that was interesting. But my favorites were probably sort of projects among really old literature. We had a Macbeth project, and I also read Much Ado About Nothing from Shakespeare. And we also had some like really old Dutch literature from the like Middle Ages, and we read Goethe for German, and also Latin and Greek. We read like the Aeneas and Oedipus and all these like really famous sort of works. We read parts from it, or well, read/translated, which I thought was a lot of fun because there's these books that you hear a lot about, but you would not necessarily just pick them up for a fun read. And it was sort of the only way that I really could do that. On the other hand, I also read Harry Potter for English. So that was fun. It was a very interesting oral exam because it was me and my friend and we were freaking out about the books, and then the teacher didn't really know anything about it. And for the rest, I just sort of read books that I would read for fun anyway. What else did I read? Like Thea Beckman, which is a famous Dutch sort of young adult author before young adult was a genre, I guess. Yeah, I think those were my favorites throughout the years that I sort of remember. Thinking about maybe one that I read for French, because we didn't talk about that yet. But my French wasn't that good, so reading wasn't that interesting. They had a lot of like simplified versions of traditional literature that we read. It wasn't as much fun because it was more like a very active translation process than it was to read a book like I had with English and Dutch, and to a lesser extent also German, because German is a lot of, like, it's really similar to Dutch, so it's a lot easier to sort of pick up the meanings of words in the context and everything like that. So yes, that was it for me. I'm gonna try to get home relatively safe in this snowy yet muddy path. I really don't know how that's possible, but I'll hopefully see you again next week, and I hope the weather wherever you live is a bit more forgiving than it is here. Bye!